The azure waters of Cabo San Lucas shimmered under the Mexican sun. Laughter echoed across the luxurious villa as a group of friends celebrated a birthday getaway. Shanquella Robinson, a vibrant 25-year-old entrepreneur, was the heart of the group. Her infectious smile and genuine warmth radiated outward, touching each member of the group. The villa, a picture of comfort and luxury, stood as a fortress of shared joy and carefree abandon. Little did she know that this tropical paradise held a dark secret, one that would shatter the facade of friendship and plunge them all into a nightmare. The carefree atmosphere that had initially permeated the trip began to dissipate, replaced by a palpable tension. Small disagreements, brushed aside at first, began to fester. Whispers and knowing glances hinted at a growing divide within the group. Shanquella, known for her infectious laughter and ability to diffuse tense situations, seemed withdrawn. Her usual vibrancy dimmed, replaced by a quiet anxiety that did not go unnoticed by those who knew her best. One evening, as the group gathered for dinner, a disagreement erupted. The details remained murky, lost in the ensuing chaos, but witnesses later recounted a palpable shift in the group dynamic. Harsh words were exchanged, accusations flew, and the facade of camaraderie crumbled. Shanquella, caught in the crossfire, retreated further into herself. Her silence spoke volumes, a stark contrast to her usual exuberance. Concerned messages began to flood in from family and friends back home. Shanquella's social media presence, usually a flurry of updates, fell silent. The idyllic facade of the vacation had shattered, leaving behind a chilling trail of unanswered questions. Looking back, the warning signs were there, subtle cracks in the foundation of their friendship, whispers of jealousy, veiled insults disguised as jokes, and a subtle shift in alliances hinted at a darkness lurking beneath the surface. Shanquella, always quick to forgive and see the best in others, might have missed the significance of these red flags. Or perhaps, blinded by her loyalty and trust, she chose not to see them. One friend in particular, whose relationship with Shanquella had always been intense and often volatile, seemed to be at the center of the escalating tension. Witnesses later recounted instances of controlling behavior, possessive comments, and a simmering resentment that seemed to emanate from this individual. Her messages, filled with a sense of foreboding, hinted at a fear she couldn't quite articulate. The bonds of friendship, once a source of strength and support, had become shackles, binding Shanquella to a group that was no longer safe. The truth, when it finally emerged, was far more horrifying than anyone could have imagined. Shanquella, the vibrant young woman who had embarked on vacation with her closest friends, was dead. The official cause? Alcohol poisoning. But the evidence and the chilling video footage that surfaced later told a very different story. The video, a gut-wrenching testament to the brutality of her final moments, showed Shanquella, naked and defenseless, being brutally beaten by one of her so-called friends. The others, far from intervening, stood by and watched, their laughter echoing in the background as Shanquella cried out for her mother. The betrayal, as cold and calculated as it was brutal, sent shockwaves through the community and beyond. The friends, now suspects in a murder investigation, scrambled to cover their tracks. The idyllic vacation they had portrayed on social media was exposed as a carefully constructed facade. The news of Shanquella's death ripped through her family like a hurricane, leaving behind a trail of devastation and disbelief. Her mother, her voice hoarse from crying, could barely comprehend the words. Her daughter, her bright light, gone, snatched away in a senseless act of violence by the very people she had trusted with her life. The family, united in grief and anger, demanded answers. They refused to believe the initial reports of alcohol poisoning, their instincts screaming that something more sinister had transpired. Social media exploded with outrage as the video of Shanquella's assault went viral. The hashtag #JusticeForShanquella became a rallying cry, amplifying the family's demands for a thorough investigation and the extradition of her alleged killers. The idyllic vacation had become a chilling reminder of the fragility of life and the devastating consequences of betrayal. The tragic death of Shanquella Robinson sent shockwaves far beyond her immediate circle, igniting a firestorm of grief and outrage that transcended geographical boundaries. The Black community, all too familiar with the pain of losing loved ones to violence, rallied around Shanquella's family, offering support and demanding justice. The case resonated deeply, highlighting the vulnerability of young Black women and the often dismissive attitude toward their safety and well-being. Protests erupted across the United States, with demonstrators demanding accountability and swift action from both Mexican and American authorities. The hashtag #JusticeForShanquella became a beacon, uniting millions in a shared pursuit of truth and justice. Celebrities, activists, and ordinary citizens alike added their voices to the chorus, amplifying the family's pleas and keeping the pressure on law enforcement. The FBI, under mounting public pressure, opened an investigation into Shanquella's death. The Mexican authorities, initially reluctant to pursue charges, were forced to take a closer look at the case. The quest for justice became a collective mission, a testament to the power of community and the unwavering belief that Shanquella's life mattered. As the investigation progressed, the web of lies spun by Shanquella's so-called friends began to unravel. Their stories, initially presented as a united front, crumbled under scrutiny, revealing a series of inconsistencies and blatant fabrications. The carefully constructed facade of friendship they had presented to the world shattered, exposing the ugliness of their betrayal. The friend who had been seen assaulting Shanquella in the video initially claimed self-defense, alleging that Shanquella had been the aggressor. However, the video evidence contradicted this claim, clearly showing Shanquella being attacked while naked and vulnerable. The other friends, who had initially corroborated this story, began to crack under pressure, their accounts diverging as they attempted to distance themselves from the crime. Text messages and social media posts, recovered during the investigation, revealed a pattern of jealousy, resentment, and controlling behavior directed at Shanquella. The truth, buried beneath layers of deceit and manipulation, slowly began to emerge. The trauma of Shanquella Robinson's death extended far beyond her immediate family, leaving an indelible mark on the community and sparking a national conversation about trust, betrayal, and the often blurred lines between friendship and toxicity. The image of Shanquella, full of life and radiating joy in the vacation photos, stood in stark contrast to the brutal reality of her final moments. The video of her assault, forever seared into the minds of those who had seen it, served as a chilling reminder of the fragility of life and the devastating consequences of unchecked aggression and jealousy. The case also highlighted the importance of recognizing red flags in relationships, the subtle signs of toxicity that can easily be dismissed or ignored. Shanquella's death, though a tragedy, became a catalyst for change, prompting individuals to reevaluate their own relationships and to prioritize their safety and well-being. Her legacy lived on in the countless lives she touched and in the ongoing fight for justice in her name. In the wake of such a profound tragedy, it's only natural to question everything, to retreat from vulnerability and view trust as a dangerous liability. The pain of Shanquella Robinson's betrayal cut deep, leaving many wary of forming close bonds, fearful of being perceived as naive or worse, becoming victims themselves. Yet to allow fear to dictate our interactions with the world is to surrender to the very darkness that extinguished Shanquella's light. Instead, let her story be a beacon, illuminating the path towards healthier relationships built on a foundation of mutual respect, open communication, and unwavering support. True friends celebrate your successes, offer comfort during setbacks, and never, ever make you feel unsafe or belittled. They hold you accountable with kindness and are always willing to work through disagreements with empathy and understanding. Trust, like any precious commodity, should be earned, not blindly given. Pay attention to red flags, those subtle cues that something isn't quite right. Despite the tireless efforts of Shanquella Robinson's family, the unwavering support of a global community, and the wheels of justice slowly turning, some questions may never be answered. The void left by her absence will forever ache, a constant reminder of the life tragically cut short and the future stolen. The friends who betrayed her trust, though facing legal repercussions, can never truly comprehend the depth of their actions or fully atone for the pain they inflicted. The case, though heavily documented and scrutinized from every angle, remains shrouded in a haze of unanswered questions. While the pursuit of legal accountability remains paramount, true closure may ultimately lie in honoring Shanquella's memory by living our lives with intention, cherishing genuine connections, and advocating for a world where such tragedies are unthinkable. May her story serve as a catalyst for change, inspiring us to cultivate authentic relationships, recognize and reject toxicity, and create a world where every individual feels safe, valued, and empowered to live their truth.